Good morning, everyone. This is Isis at Silhouette Radio, and I'm here with the lovely Shiquita James. Thank you so much for coming and being our first this year, our first guest.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. It's a pleasure. Okay, so before we get started, we wanted to first do some shout outs to our sponsors. So we want to go ahead and shout out Isla Beauty in Dominican Republic. Thank you for being a sponsor. 305 Plastic Surgery, New Life Plastic Surgery, Bright Plastic Surgery, and Vixen Plastic Surgery. Today is Saturday and it's beautiful. What do you think about the weather in New York?
It's great compared to Atlanta. It's almost 100 degrees down there. So
Okay.
this break from the heat is amazing.
That's amazing, yes. I used to live in Savannah, Georgia, so I know how humid it could get, especially
Very.
during these months. And so that's amazing to, even though it's been hot in New York, to have like a break from that heat.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give a boss quote of the day. So a quote is that you are only going to get in what you put in.
Absolutely. I
How do
totally
you feel
agree.
about that quote?
I love it. I love it because you can't you have to put in the work.
That's so true.
You know,
That's
you
so
have to
true.
put the work in. You just can't expect it to come to you without
Yes.
putting some work in. So I agree with that 100%.
I think that the issue that a lot of people have is that when they finally see someone, like for example yourself, and you were in Wakanda, and you're doing other productions, when they see it, it seems like overnight because they were probably just with you the day before, and so they're like, "Oh my gosh, she was in this movie," but they're not understanding because they weren't in it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you.
It takes a lot of dedication and self work, and patience.
Yes,
For sure.
it takes a lot of patience.
Yes.
Patience is going to be the key to success. Growing up as a kid, everyone used to say that all you needed was a dollar and a dream. And I don't know who said that. Yes, you just need a dream, but just not a dollar.
Not no dollar, no.
That's
Still
so
working
true.
towards them dollars.
Um, Something that I wanted to talk about was what is it like being female? Also, you were a veteran.
Correct.
Yes, I'm a veteran as well. And then being in the industry as a mom and, having to navigate that.
Um, it's pretty easy. Because my son is very supportive. He's 24, so he's
okay.
understanding. But it's tasking. It has its pros and its cons. Being a black woman, LGBT. A single mother. So it has its pros and cons. But I really feel like it depends on the person, their mind frame, and their mentality, and things like that. So, but some women have a rough time in doing it. But you just have to find your balance.
Right. Did you feel like you had experienced impacts of colorism or being LGBTQ?
And I honestly say for me, it's been quite a smooth sail. Because I'm versatile, so I can do both male and female. I'm open to that. They call me a chameleon. So that aspect, I just know how to work it. Pretty much, I know who I am. I know my worth, and I know what I'm not afraid. You know what I'm saying, to be my authentic self. So it goes a little bit more smoother that way. But when you step into this trying to be other than you, that's where the difficulties come in at, and the challenges.
Were you active duty Army?
I was active duty Air Force first, and then now I'm retired Navy.
Oh, thank you for your service.
Thank you for yours.
Thank you as well. So, for me, my experience had at 13, I went to boarding school. I got a scholarship. I went to an all girl boarding school in Connecticut, and being on scholarship, being dark skinned, black, it was a rough experience for me. And so when I graduated, I wanted to go to a historically black college. I wanted to go to Howard. I didn't get into Howard, but I got into Hampton. And when I got into Hampton, I was not able to afford it. And so I was in the situation where I got a full scholarship to a predominantly all white school, which I didn't want to attend because of my experience in boarding school. And then after doing a semester, I enlisted into the Army. And so for me, my experience has always been, I think going to boarding school was an amazing experience, but being 13 in an environment where I identified as being a heterosexual, first generation, poor student, that I always felt like my voice was always trying to be suppressed because it was, the way it was either you assimilate or you go back home.
Right.
And if you don't assimilate into this culture that we have in this community that, everyone's nice here, everyone's friends, then, you go back home to the South Bronx. And being first generation and my mom putting so much emphasis on school, not having had that formal education, a lot of times I felt like I had to be quiet. And so even becoming a blogger, now I feel like so many people want to keep me locked into surgery. And I'm just like, surgery consumers are everyday consumers. So it's so interesting to see that your experience, even though we're both Black women, is extremely different than mine, where you felt like you have not been, oppressed despite being a member of the LGBT community.
Well, in the industry, no, but in life, yes.
Okay.
I started out in private school in South Carolina. That's where I'm originally from. So I always had a thing about my voice. I've always had so much to say inside, but I didn't know how to say it out loud. So yes, it was some oppression, and then like growing up, being dark skinned, like you said, I was a military brat, so my mother never really taught us color till color started to attack us.
Absolutely.
But it mostly came from my people. The judgment, the being called ugly, and burnt banana and stuff like that. So it mostly came from my people, but at the same time, I didn't see color growing up. I really don't see it now, but you have to due to society. But so there's someone oppressed. So I always wanted to have so many talents, and I always used to beat myself up growing up because I was like, "This, I want to do something more for the world. I want to love. I want to give light. I want to give inspiration." So, God led me here.
Your poetry.
Started my poetry when I was 11 after being raped.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was my healing. No, don't feel sorry, because people gotta understand situations like that is to build you. I didn't take it like most people took. I took it to help me make me better and to protect other women. And this was that, and then I ended up getting diagnosed with lupus when I was in the Navy. That's why I got retired out, and acting wasn't part of my dream. It was not a life goal for me. But after dying and coming back, ancestors, God said it wasn't your time. Sent me back and said for me to be a face for my people, and they sent me towards this avenue. And I'm a shy person.
I got that a little bit from your demeanor. I was like, it's interesting. Maybe as she's acting, you transform.
I do. I come out of myself. I become whatever it is they want me to be without losing myself in the process, So so they sent me this. It took me like a year and a half to actually accept it. They were just ancestors. They really nag you. So I was like, all right. They was like, leap, we got you. So I leaped, and I'm here.
That's a blessing. Can you talk a little bit more about finding out that you were diagnosed with lupus while being in the Navy and having a long career?
It was a life-changing experience. I was Air Force, went to Navy. Excuse me. Went to Navy, and I was planning on finish out my 20. God had other plans. Getting lupus was traumatizing. You think about death every day. I have a child. I battled with it for 10 years before I went into remission. And then I just got to a point where I got tired of being tired. I was in this dark, dark place, but I always knew God had his hand on me since I was a child. So I said, this is not me. I can't leave this world with my son seeing me being weak and giving up. So I took my power back, because it's all mental, So I took my power back and was like, no, lupus, you don't have me, I have you, and I control this. And then I started getting back into my spiritual practice and back to writing again and things like that. And I started healing myself. So but it's trying to come back now. But I won't let it. You know, it's been giving me quite a fight this past 2 years, but I'm not gonna let it do it. No, it's all about healing self,
Yes.
knowing self, learning self, getting back in contact with self. So it's a journey.
I could only imagine how traumatizing that was because I had really bad eczema that had impacted 75% of my body and it had changed my skin color like to the color crayon. And being a blogger, that was so hard because in the beauty industry everyone is expecting you to, if you're standing here sharing the reviews about women that had surgery, they're expecting you to be perfect. And so when I heard you say that it was your own women calling you ugly or burned, and so it was extremely impacting when I had the eczema because I didn't know if it was lupus, and I kept going to the dermatologist, getting tested, doing the skin grafts to seeing if it was eczema, and then at the whole on the other end, you're on the social media front being, judged for this battle that you're trying to fight. And so for me, I'm just extremely grateful that it's not because, like you said, you have a child that you're still wanting to fight for. And at the time, my son, he's only 4 years old now.
Oh,
So he was a lot younger then.
precious ages.
Those are so precious ages. And I totally could relate. So I feel like we just have so much in common. And that's so dope because you don't necessarily know what everyone's going through. And being a blogger and having 97% of my population that I, blog about or identify as women, I do realize how much harder women are on each other. And even though there are other systems that oppress us, there is still the system of just women that are oppressing other women. A lot of times men joke and say, are the women getting their surgeries done for the men or the other women? Because
Right.
the men will tell you don't do it,
Yeah.
but the other women are competing with each other. Can you talk about right now the writer's strike and how that's impacting you as an actress? And, just I was reading and they were saying like now with AI and streaming, like things that we just didn't have before.
Um, it's a big impact because you're used to working consistently. You know, the morale has kind of weakened a little bit. You know, so but I saw it coming. You know, it's a gift, but when I'm trying to prepare other backgrounders for it, but I'm just like, I have to pay attention. Don't look at the surface. You have to look deeper than the surface because there's always an agenda.
Yes.
You know, and with the AI, like everybody's now doing that AI pictures and stuff like that, and I'm like, yo, y'all, before this happened, I was like, y'all need to stop with that.
It's like a test.
Yeah, you're falling right into the hands of the man. Because eventually they're trying to replace us as humans. The robots that's coming out now, they're starting to expose them, and then it's the AI, and they're going to use our looks to put on these robots. Though they ain't going to move like we move, but at the same time, it's going to be sufficient enough for them to get done what they need to get done. So, it's always something.
Right.
And I just take it day at a time, because this isn't the only avenue. I tell people I started in acting, but that doesn't mean that's what my final destination is. Eventually I want to be an inspirational speaker, a blogger, and in some form a director. I want to tell my story and create other people's story, get them a chance to tell theirs as well, because our stories can help other people more than people even realize.
So true.
And
true.
Like when you was talking about Black women suppressing each other, it's sad. It is very, very sad because we are really all we have. We are the original ones. People are trying to be like us, and we're sitting here tearing each other down or competing with eyelashes and body, butt implants and breast implants, and like they don't learn. They just go out here, this one woman I just saw on Instagram the other day, she had her bra screwed into her ribcage.
Yes, an internal bra, yes.
And I'm just like, why? Y'all, Black women are beautiful. All women's beautiful, but Black women, we are beautiful, and it's so many different shades and colors and shapes and sizes, that other races don't have to the extent that we have, so I just wish it would stop, be natural.
I
Natural
definitely
beauty
think
is
that now a lot more women, with the reversal of, I'm not sure if you're seeing that, where a lot of women that had BBLs are trying to
undo.
undo their BBLs. And so that's a big thing where women are wanting to do less is more now. I think that a big pressure definitely came from the media, seeing that because for a long time, well, like I go back to my boarding school experience, I remember like not necessarily being body positive because like in boarding school, it was always like I was big. But then when I came back to New York, it was like I was skinny. So not really fitting in any of the worlds or being accepted with my body by, the in the school that I'm in for 4 years, and then not being accepted by in my community where I live every single day, where those are the guys that I'm attracted to because I'm super skinny and they're like, you're a toothpick.
Right.
And then going back and saying, I'm not skinny enough. And so I do think that a lot of the women that do have surgery definitely have some body images, especially because for a long time in Hollywood, like I remember even trying to be a model as a kid, and then just like what they wanted in terms of skinniness was almost unreal. Do you feel that that's still something that's happening in Hollywood?
I don't know about Hollywood. I do some modeling in Atlanta, but that's amongst my people. You know, it's more. A lot of stuff I've seen lately has been more lax. You know, I haven't been on the Hollywood level of modeling, but like just the modeling around Atlanta, whatever. It's more lax than what you're used to hearing modeling is supposed to be. You know, the stiff, the upright, the straight face.
I definitely agree.
You know, now they tell you do a little flavor and stuff like that, but I don't know. I feel like in certain aspects, yes, if they're old school. No. But when it comes to modeling, I just feel like you should just be your natural self. You know, some character here and there, instead of everybody just looking the same and look like robots,
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's kind of easing up some with the restrictions because you're starting to see big women starting to model now. The first, I don't want to call them, the short person.
Yeah, it's the short person.
First short person to actually model, and it's amazing to see stuff like that, because you're accepting the diversity of people and shapes and size and height and things like that. Because before it was like, oh, you have to be 5'8", 5'9",
yes.
And I always wanted to model. I'm like, I'm 5'7", so I can't fit in. But now I can. They're accepting it, and then like with my modeling, I want to be versatile as well. I don't mind doing the feminine side. I don't mind doing the masculine side, but I'm androgynous, so I like to blend it. Like you see, I got on white pants with female top, so I like to be able to express myself in that manner. And I hope to open up doors for others to be accepted of themselves as a woman, because LGBT, they're considering me a stud, but I'm like, I'm a woman before anything. And a lot of females try to be, they're not in tune, studs are not in tune with their feminine side. They're afraid to be feminine.
And you had a baby, which is one of the essence of, and I don't want to say the essence of femininity because there's some women that can't have children, but to be able to bring a pregnancy to full term is your body. I never experienced anything like that. And then when I laid my son on my heart, it was the first time that I had my heartbeat sync with his heartbeat.
Yes.
And I remember in a Tyler Perry play, Cicely Tyson talked about that's when you would find true love, when the both heartbeats synced. And so when I was in a relationship, I tried to lay on someone's chest to see if my heartbeat would do that because I was madly in love with them and it never did. Right. But then when I put my son on my heart, it was this intense synchronization. My heart started beating so fast. I was like, what's going on? Like, am I hurting him? And then, I just knew that was mine.
I feel like every woman, regardless of their sexuality, should experience that because that's what we were put here for, and I wanted that experience. I wanted to, they said procreate. He said he had to procreate 10 times, 5 times, but that one was enough for me. So, but it's an experience like no other, That's the true experience of a woman, is to give life. And I tell women all the time, like, do you not understand how powerful we are?
Yeah.
We bring life into life.
Yeah.
Not knocking them in, but they contribute.
Right.
But we go through the changes, the pain, the hurt, the joy, the up, the down. You know, the manager said, they're like, oh, what I need to do for you, baby? You want to go get some ice cream?
Right.
But,
And you're like, you're not even getting it. Why do they keep thinking it's ice cream?
Exactly. It's not that easy, but it's a joy. And it comes with its trials. You know, sometimes you get left taking care of them by yourself. Yeah. But that's still that shows a strength in you as a Black woman or as a woman, period. You know, so like I would never change that. I just had to get out of the way because I knew I was gay. But I'm the only girl. I know this, so, you know, I was like, all right, Ma, I ain't gonna be able to give you that girly wedding and all that stuff, but I'm gonna give you this child, you know, so.
Something that I hear you speak about a lot that, you know, I have a bachelor's in political science, and I've always would say, but I'm also not a member of the LGBT community. So maybe it's like, I don't have the place to say that, but I always try to say, like, regardless of your sexual orientation, sexuality, you're Black. And so, like, come and fight with us as Black people, stick together as Black people, because if we make everything better for Black people, then we made it better for homeless LGBTQ youth, you know, because but what I feel like is happening sometimes is they try to separate us. And I remember someone said to me, well, maybe LGBTQ people don't feel like they have a place in being Black, which is like so disheartening because when I look at you, like I see my Black sister, you know what I mean? Yeah. So if I go somewhere among the faces of many, like I'm like, oh, she's Black. I feel more comfortable as traveling this world as another Black woman that, you know, we, like you said, share something innately in common.
Yeah, because, though, I say LGBTQ because that's what we're labeled as in society. Mm-hmm. I myself personally, I am just me. Mm-hmm. You know, whether I'm gay, whether I'm straight, whether whatever it is, I am me. You know, so like, you know, I've run into a lot of people that was against gay. Mm-hmm. You know, but once meeting me, they're like, you know what, like you're different. You know, because I don't carry myself as gay. You may look at me, you can tell I am, but it's not something that I have to advertise. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I just try to be who I am, and I accept everybody else for who they are, and what you put out, you get back in. You know, so people have a lot of respect for me than they do for some other gay people because they're just a little over the top with it. Mm-hmm. But I don't really care what nobody is. As long as you treat people right and express love and mm-hmm. peace and understanding and acceptance. And you don't have to accept that I'm gay, but accept who I am as a person, as a spirit. You know, I have challenges with my father, and my thing with him is, regardless of what my sexual orientation is, I'm your child. Yes. I'm your daughter first. So what I do away from you or who I lay in the bed with has nothing to do with the fact that I'm your child. And you should love me in spite of anything else, you know. But you know, you just learn how to maneuver this life regardless. You know, parents are portals to come into this world. Doesn't mean they have to stay mm-hmm. and live up to the label of a parent, you know, but, you know, and I feel like that destroys a lot of people.
I do, and I think that children are more forgiving and loving of their mm-hmm. parents' shortcomings than parents are forgiving and loving of their children. Yes. It's like you have to fill big shoes for some parents, mm-hmm. but, you know, we just want to love and have mommy and daddy, and so, you know, that's unfortunate to not have that because, like you said, who you lay in the bed with
has nothing to do with you.
Doesn't change that I came from you.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about what it was like being in Wakanda Forever? You know, that was so many Black people went to the movie theaters to watch that movie theaters and wanting to try to identify with our African ancestry, wearing dashikis and, you know, putting up their fists, being happy that there were so many Black actresses mm-hmm. and actors cast in that movie. What was it like being on set and being involved?
It was empowering. Mm-hmm. Extremely, of course, emotional because of Chadwick. Mm-hmm. But for me, it was amazing because even though it's a movie and we're just acting things out, to see your people dressed up in royalty in our original state of what we should be in, mm-hmm. you know, to see that is breathtaking. You know, it makes you wish you can go back to those days and actually walk in the feet of your ancestors that were kings and queens of Mali Empire and things like that. So it would always be an unforgettable
Experience. I can only
experience.
imagine how empowering that was. Do you know how sometimes when you're having an experience that spiritually, you have a supernatural experience? Did you
Mm,
experience that while doing Wakanda?
I did. But like I said, certain movies that I've done, like Harriet, Underground Railroad, Emperor, I love slave films. I love time period pieces. But I always, because I'm so connected with the ancestors, I always channel them, and it's like I'm no longer myself in the midst of those times. So being on Wakanda, it was like I left myself and I went to into that state because it's in our blood already, you know. So it just causes you to go a little bit deeper within yourself to bring that royalness out of you, that blackness out of you, that original state of Africa up out of you, you know. And I just, you know, everybody else be like, oh, all hype about the actors, and I'm just sitting here and I'm pretty much just basking
In the experience.
in the experience, you know, and in the history of ourselves and things like that. So I'd be on a whole nother level when it comes to
That is amazing
yes.
because it's one thing to just turn it on and off, but to
Right.
actually, be taken to a whole nother realm as you're experiencing that at that era has to be very empowering.
Yeah, just understanding because I believe in knowing where you came from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so just to be in the midst of that, and just like the slave films I've done, you know, they always tell me you look authentic. So is that a compliment or
Yeah.
you know? So,
Like a
you know,
backhanded
you have to
compliment.
yeah.
Right.
So, and I cherish that because we're important.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's I'm about to tear up. It's just sad what we have to go through. You know where we've been and where we at, and our people are still now at war with each other. When back then, in Harriet days, you know, they were fighting to get free.
Yeah.
Now we're fighting to I don't know what we're trying to fight to do now. You know, they think they got their freedom, but they really don't.
Right.
You know, you still mentally enslaved. They only got smarter, released us physically, took us in mentally because mental is much harder to escape from than
the
you know
internalized
physical
impression is real.
It is too real.
Yeah.
I just refuse to be one.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I remember one time I was sitting somewhere and there was another black girl. She came and like I turned around and I think she bumped me. She said I bumped her. I was like, "You're black, I'm black. If you said I bumped you, I'm sorry." You know, and it took away the aggression that she had. Like, right, you know what I mean? Like, when you bumped me and I'm like, "I'm sorry." It was an accident. It was not intentional. And I think that there are some of us that we don't see each other in that light naturally, but I have noticed that when you try to bring it back and say, "Look, you're black, I'm black," that a lot of times that we do say, it's like, I get
tone
it.
it down.
They tone it down a little bit.
Oh, okay then. You know, because they just feel like it's no need to compete with each other. Because we all going through the same thing.
Yeah.
We're all getting looked at the same way. We're all getting treated the same way. So why do that amongst each other? You know, I feel like it's just a waste of energy. We put that energy elsewhere, we might get back what's due to us.
And I tell people all the time that the best behaved black person in a system of oppression is still an oppressed black person. And so we tend to want to oppress each other. And it's like, we're so unique, even though we all share the same diaspora.
Right. I don't know. It's going to get better. I have no choice but to believe that it's going to take time. But I can't see no other. I see the light. It's gonna come eventually. It's gonna take time. You know, we enslaved for 400 years, so it's gonna take just that much to heal and come back to that place. Because life is going to cycle anyways.
Yes.
You know, we're gonna return. We're going to return to the beginning eventually. You know, but it just.
But that's so deep to understand that we literally were oppressed for 400 years in shackles. So to give us grace, which is something that a lot of people, but we are making so much progress, we are a triumphant and resilient people. So, and I think that the Black Panther movie showed that a lot.
Very much so. Very much so. But see, a lot of people don't understand it takes work to get there. It takes healing. And that's a lot of people's problem now is they don't want to do the work to heal. They don't want to face themselves, the ugly in themselves. Yes. You just can't, everything can't be good.
Yes.
You can't have good without ugly.
A lot of people don't want to, and I'm noticing that a lot. Like they want to operate in that dysfunction that they've always operated in. I do want to talk about what was it like having lupus and wanting to act? Like, did you feel like maybe I won't do this? Like, did that ever discourage you at some point?
Well, like I said before, I never acting wasn't something I wanted to do, but and I came into it after my remission. Um, but and it kind of like was discouraging once the opportunities he started to come my way, or when the ancestors and God was like, this is the path you need to take. But I was like, I'm just getting over being sick, still dealing with some challenges of it. I'm like, I don't think I can, because for 10 years I couldn't get me to sit up here and talk to you. It was bed or the hospital, you know. So to even be, I'm grateful just to be able to get up out the bed and walk in the morning, you know, without any pain. And if I do have pain, I'm grateful enough to be grateful for that pain, because, you know, it challenges me to overcome it, you know. Right. But so there was some doubt in the beginning of this journey, but I trusted God, and I trusted my ancestors, and I trusted myself, you know, and believed that I was capable. You know, it's something, and I always wanted to speak in this world or have a voice in this world, but I didn't expect it to be like this, you know. And I've made a lot of impact just being silent and just showing motion and action. You know, I've touched and inspired many, and I haven't said a word.
My teacher in graduate school would say that silence is so impacting. Yes. And especially if you're the person who doesn't speak all the time, when you do say something, everyone wants to listen because they're like, she doesn't talk, so let's hear. And so it is good to be the type of person that has that type of restraint, that doesn't always talk but listens, because you can't listen and talk.
You cannot. Learn better, you listen and be quiet. And sometimes it's hard to be quiet with so much that's going on. But like I told people, I just want a platform. I want my platform to get strong enough where I can talk without, you know, slander and stuff. I'm going to catch it. But, you know, I want to be like a Viola or someone that just speaks their mind, but it's the truth. And it might hurt, but people going to accept it because it's the truth. It's the truth. You know, and it's for the betterment of us and others, you know. So I just want to see life be easier. We make it hard. You know, we can't always blame society. We can't always blame the man.
That's true.
We have to really just go into ourselves, and you could decide how you want your life to be. You don't have to live by that stigmatism of
that's so true.
The world.
It's interesting you mentioned Viola Davis, especially because she's a dark-skinned actress. Is that someone that you look up to?
Yes. And someone who have paved the way for me to know that I can become a woman with a voice, a dark-skinned woman with a voice. You know, I worked with her on The First Lady. You know, and I was told we were cousins, but, you know, no proof has been given. But yeah, she has. And then the fact that she had gone through what I've gone through in life, you know, the downplay of your blackness and your beauty and things like that, you know. People always saw her as a little awkward because her walk or the way she speak or her mouth form or darkness and stuff like that. And, you know, and it's just like, yeah, she's someone I would look up to or would love to become, because I don't want to be one that's out there in the news and stuff. Like Angela Bassett, you don't hear too much about her.
Yeah.
You don't hear too much about Viola Davis. You know, there's certain women, them the women I look to.
To aspire, yes.
To inspire me, because you don't have to be loud and obnoxious to get seen or make it to where I want to be that person, like Woman King. I want to be that empowered person to empower my people, empower my women, because I'm big on protecting my women, you know. I'm very big on that, and it's being LGBT ain't so much about the sexual part of it, because really I could do without it. It's more about I want to. It's always been like that for me since I've been dealing with women. I want to inspire them. When you come to me, I want you to be better. When you leave me, I want you to be better than you was when you came to me. I want to show you that you're worthy. I want to show you that you're worth love and attention, and, you know, that your black is beautiful. You And you don't have to just give yourself to anyone, whether it's man or woman.
That's so true. That's so true.
Value yourself, and I may get hurt in the process because a lot of women ain't ready for that work, but at least I plant that seed. Now, what you do with it, that's on you.
Do you have any positive closing words for anyone that is interested in becoming an actress? Anyone that may be fighting lupus or struggling with their sexual identity or trying to find a balance in any community or the Black community?
Be accepting of yourself. No matter what other people think of you, just be accepting of yourself. Go within and get to know who you are. Yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, it's a challenge. Yes, you're going to find some ugly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can find some mud. Get dirty. But go there. Because in the end, it's just you.
That's so true.
In the end, it's just you. Everybody else is just to help you get through this world. But we're here to find our true selves. And just stay true to yourself. Don't become what everybody else expects you to become. Be original. We're the same, but we're not the same.
That's so true. That's so true.
So just go for it. It don't matter how. I didn't start till I was 41. Mm-hmm. So it's never too late. It's never too late. A lot of times other people hold us back.
That's so true.
But just go for what it is that's in you to do. And trust in God's plan, not so much your own. Excuse me, not so much your own plan. God has it's bigger than us. This is bigger than me. This ain't just about me trying to be famous or anything like that. It's about all of us for me. And God is the director. And that's the director I truly follow. So just be true to self. And don't be afraid to be who you are. People you could be the best person in this world. They're going to have a problem.
That's true.
As long as you're okay with you and you love you, then it's all worth it in the end.
So could we look forward to seeing you gracing our screens in the next couple of months or year?
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I could speak on that.
Okay. I kind of figured that, but we definitely will be seeing your face and being like, that's Shiquita.
Yeah, it's quite a few. I say at least 10 more is going to drop.
Oh, wow.
Within
Congratulations.
The next year.
Yes.
So,
that's a lot for a year.
Yeah, so now I'm just trying to work towards the voice part of things, but I don't know. I've been doing pretty well with the background. I'm tired of background. I did my 4 years. That's like college to me. I got my free education, so I'm ready to take it to the next level. But while this strike is going on, I'm gonna just focus on modeling and try to get into blogging or podcasting and start publishing my poetry and things.
Yes, that would be so amazing. Like while you have this downtime, because once the strike, I know they will reach a resolution, and once that happens, it's gonna be go.
It's gonna be go. I don't put off so much because I've been booked past couple of years, but totally. But this break is. I just feel like certain things happen to give us that space and time to put our focus elsewhere that can also help build us up. So I was like, I'm getting to the modeling because I'm still shy, so I'm trying to break out more out of that and get more into finding my voice. I mean, I found it, but just because it's so soft and quiet. So I want to speak. I want to be unafraid to speak, should I say. So yeah, I'm trying to find other avenues. This ain't gonna stop me.
Yes.
Ain't no strike gonna stop me. You're just giving me more time and opportunity to become more. It's just like the COVID, like it's more spiritual than it was physical. It destroyed a lot of physicalness, but God, the world has never been shut down. And that was just God telling us, go within, get to know your family, get to know yourself most of all. Right. Get in tune with self. So a lot of people took it hard. I've lost people during it, but at the same time, they became an ancestor. Have more power from the other side.
Right.
So it's been a journey, spiritually and physically, mentally, emotionally, and once you're able to balance all that, life is good.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure just to sit here and speak with you, to get to know you more, just to hear you. And I think that you're going to be such an inspiration for other women who may be 35, 40, or even 10 years old and they're afraid of getting started or thinking, am I going to be successful at this? And you're living proof that if you have a goal and desire to do it, because no one thinks, okay, at 41, I'm going to become a model. We think that by the time we're 35, that's
it's a no-go.
It's a no-go, right?
I'm 46 now, and I'm just like, "Ooh, God, thank you," because nobody really believes I'm 46. I'm like, why would I want to lie about that, you know? But it's never too late, and it's never too late. And I've never really been a dreamer. I live by purpose. You know, just like people's like, "It's your dream." No, this is a purpose for me. You know, dreams can sometimes fail. But we're here with purpose. We was born with purpose, so we are here to fulfill a purpose of life. So, not a dream of life, but a purpose. You know, purpose is God given. A dream is man created. You know, or processed to become. So, you know, I have different insight than most.
Your insight is definitely going to help a lot of people get through because, like you said, there are a lot of people that have gone through traumatic experiences that aren't able to process that they blame self because, as a result of that. And I think that this positive word is definitely going to help anyone watching this, regardless of if you had surgery, if you're trying to get back into a different field, if you retired, finding your purpose in life. And I think that is everything, like you said, that's going to be so important for someone because a dream can fail, but when it's your purpose, even if you stumble, you always get to where you belong.
Oh, you know it's going to come to fruition because God is not going to, when He got a purpose for you, it's going to come through.
That's so
It's
true.
going to reach its end, you know, and with completion. So that's why I'd rather live by purpose than a dream.
Yes.
You know? So our purpose is set in stone. God already got it. You're going to fulfill this because I gave it to you,
Yes.
you know? So, yeah.
I was talking to someone the other day and they were like, I tried so much to try to destroy your purpose and do everything. And they were like, kudos to you because I couldn't. And that's when you know that you are walking with God and your purpose. When someone is admitting to you, like, I tried my hardest and they couldn't because it's so much bigger than them, you know? And in the process, you might feel like you're being destroyed, but you sit back and look at him like you said, you started at 41, you're 46. You look at 5 years later, you know this is all purpose.
Yeah. Because like a friend of mine, I had told her about this, doing this, and she's like, well, you need to get training because you get all the connects and blah, 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 blah. And my thing is, where I started does not mean where I'm going to end. You know, I have other avenues that I want to travel, you know, and acting is just not my ending point, you know. It was my starting point. God was giving me a door to get in to where it is that I really want to go, you know, and reaching the people and the masses is more important to me than the fame of a TV screen. You know, if it's not helping others, then it's really not nice enough for me. I need to be able to inspire. I need to be able to help heal and touch the hearts and minds of people, you know, give them a better light and understanding of what life really is. So, I just tell them, like, just because this is my starting point does not mean this is my ending point. My avenue, my path is not going to go your way because we walk under two different lights.
That's so true.
You know, so what God got for me, a lot of people would not understand.
Right. And you wouldn't be able to walk a mile in that shoes because it's not your purpose.
Exactly, you know. And yeah, I do need training. I do need to take classes and stuff like that, but I move when God say move.
And you're going, in the process, you're going to learn what you need to learn.
He's going to, you know, I've done so much, and God tell me this all the time, and I'd still be like, God, but I need to get this done. I need to get that done. God be like, sit still. You did your work. Let us work for you. You might not see it, but I'm working, you know? So he'll like he'll shut down my car, he'll shut down all kind of stuff, and I'll be like, just to be still, because he know I'm gonna keep moving.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that we were able to, share a conversation and word about Black excellence, which you embody. I love being around Black people that want to advance not only self but the race, because it's so important to open a door for someone else. And I thank you so much for coming from.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, the city of Black excellence, which is Atlanta, to New York City today, to share with us a little bit more about you. And I'm definitely going to look forward to seeing you in your next premiere, because I know that it's about to happen for real once everything is set back up.
Absolutely, and I thank you for this opportunity, this exposure, and hope to come back one day saying that was the first. So I hope I paved the way for many great people like myself to come through and bless your podcast, blogging, your show.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
So much.
A lot of people say, you might think it's small, but it's not.
Yeah.
And anyone I connect with, I believe is always an alignment of God. Like my modeling coach, she the first thing she asked me was, why did you come to me? I'm just starting out, you know what I'm saying? Her first audition for people to model. And I was like, because I was sent, and I felt like this was sent to me, because it just came out of nowhere. I ain't had for Serenity in a year with some work. Last time was for the Black Panther interview. And it's been a year, but I still have faith. God brings it when it's time to bring it. And I was going through a down period, with the strike and everything. But when this came, I was like, oh, absolutely. I got free flights. I'm coming, But yeah, when God say, I move.
Yes.
And I don't take on everybody's stuff.
And I thank you so much for that, because, some people may not realize how much they impact someone. So I'm sitting here in the cab ride over here. I'm praying, trying to bind up the spirit of imposter syndrome and just feeling shy, because I'm like, she was an actor in Black Panther. And, what a. And so just to be able to have this conversation, I meet a lot of people, and not all of them have humility. And so to be able to meet someone that has a humility because they understand that there's a higher power in presence of all of this is just truly rewarding. And so you also made my day, so thank you.
Thank you. You made mine as well. I love things like this. So, we have to look out for each other regardless. You can't take on everyone. There's offers that come, and I just feel like, if it ain't in my spirit to do it, I'm going to turn it down. I don't care what you're offering me, And, I've done things that's free, and it's just like, it's not about the money for me. Yes, it's needed, but it's not about the money. It's about the message.
That's so true.
So I truly appreciate this.
And your messages are so empowering, and there's something that I recommend that everyone learn. You do need to learn how to be still. You need to learn how to be in your purpose and your power. And I had to learn the hard way that not every opportunity that comes is truly an opportunity. Yes. And so having the power to turn some things down because they just don't, the people and their motives don't align is truly amazing. So Shiquita James, it's been a pleasure to have you on Silhouette Radio. I cannot wait to upload this. And next week, we're actually going to have another segment that focuses on the self-care of Black women through exercise. So we really want Black women to understand there's a purpose, there's a power, and we could do it all,
Right. Well, you ever need me back? I'm great to come back. It don't even got to be about my career. It just could be about the conversation.
The conversation.
Thank you so much. Absolutely.
All right, Silhouette. So you have an amazing day. We're going to tune out now. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.